Read the newspapers. Scan and peruse the internet. Type into the search engines on the internet. Coaches, sexual abuse, athletes, sexual assault. And you're going to find, like I did, a minimum of 10 incidences every month involving these kind of situations. You might read about Waukegan assistant high school coach, Waukegan, Illinois, arrested for sexual abuse of one of the female students in school. Or it could be an athlete, such as ex-Stanford University freshman swimmer who was guilty and convicted of raping an unconscious woman on campus. I had awareness of out-of-sport athlete aggression and sexual deviancy as a high school, collegiate, and professional athlete and coach long before I studied this stuff in my master's degree in counseling, my doctoral degree in human development and family science with a sociology of sport emphasis. At every level, coaches and players hear things, they know things, sometimes they see things that are soiling the athlete culture and harming others in the process. This can include practices such as hazing and initiations that are often sexual in nature. Rampant promiscuity. It can include very elaborate competitions and contests to have sex with females. Rampant infidelity, sex in the recruiting process. Things like voyeurism, group voyeurism, video voyeurism, group sex, group sexual assault, and gang rape. So some very serious topics here. And while some people might say, oh, well, that's happening at the college and pro level, that's not as relevant, but people need to know, particularly coaches at the lower levels and parents, that every type of sexual aggression and or deviant and aggressive behavior that happens at the college and pro level also happens at the high school level. So that's a huge message for parents. So a lot of athletes, including those at the high school level, are learning about sexual deviancy and aggression by being victimized by other teammates, by learning to become perpetrators that are targeting both athletes, their teammates, as well as young females, and by being bystanders to observing what's going on in the athlete culture. But during my doctoral research, I interviewed 23 college and minor professional hockey players. These are my people, this is my sport, for their awareness and participation in out-of-sport athlete aggression. So we're talking about things like the bar fights, street fights, physical aggression against women, and sexual assaults. But I also interviewed them for the sleazier things that are going on behind closed doors that a lot of people aren't aware of. And I thought, here's the real story, because nobody's aware of this stuff. The other things are making the headlines, they're illegal. Some of sexual deviant behaviors, they're not always illegal, but they're always harmful, and they can act as stepping stones to sexual aggression. And so these behaviors have been flying under the radar from the 60s through 2010 and beyond, and they're not being addressed. So my book and the presentations I give accompanying this have the purpose of raising awareness to this darker side of sports. It's about encouraging personal and team excellence both on and off the playing field. It's about promoting stronger leadership, not only among coaches, but athletes and administrators as well, to step up and start addressing these negative practices. So some of the 142 athletes that I interviewed for my book told me they had a similar desire to write the same kind of stuff, to expose what was going on in the athlete culture in an effort to help clean up what was going on. Most knew they wouldn't get around to writing the book or couldn't, so they offered to assist me by being interviewed. Even those who engaged in negative practices admitted these behaviors were very problematic and definitely needed attention. So I went ahead and interviewed 5 sports: basketball, baseball, football, wrestling, and hockey, major sports, major leaguers, minor professional athletes, as well as college players, for their awareness of what's going on in the athlete culture. But every sport was represented because guys had roommates, guys lived in the dorms with other athletes. So we're talking about other athletes, virtually every sport was represented. Rugby, male gymnasts, lacrosse, track and field, tennis and golfers, swimmers and divers, soccer players. They all talked about the negative behaviors that they saw happening, so virtually all sports are included when we're talking about sexually deviant and aggressive behaviors.